Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Victor Dove with Dove Solutions Recruiting. I just decided I'd make this video today to kind of talk about where I'm at, where I've been, the kinds of things that I've learned that have been super useful to me and that new recruiters can also use to hopefully jumpstart your guys' recruiting agency and get to where you guys want to be, hit those KPIs you're looking for. I started my agency back in April, towards the end of April. Um, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I found a pretty awesome group that we'll get into later that's helped me substantially. I hired a mentor that has been huge, and it's been great for my career and my company's growth. So, just going to cover some things today that I found to be pretty useful that'll, without a doubt, save you guys some time. We're going to talk about handling clients, handling candidates, and just sort of dealing with the whole stress of being a recruiter, especially your first year. Um, so I want to get into first with handling clients. So once you get your clients, once you sent them emails or cold calls, got them to sign your fee agreement, some of the biggest things that I've known, I would try your very best, even if you're not able to find candidates for them that are qualified, but you're continuously looking. Definitely give your clients a weekly update. Communication with your clients is huge. I've learned that even if I'm not finding candidates, I let them know, hey, I'm using this and this method. I'm not really finding that many, but um, I have some scheduled for next week, or I'm pursuing some leads, and I'll get back to you guys next week. Just being there, letting your client know that you're actively working to find them candidates, that you're not just sitting on your hands. I think clients respect that a lot. So it's a good idea not to let them sort of die on the vine. Um, Also, when you get a new client, there's a lot of red flags you should look out for. If they're really poor at communicating, they're not really getting back to you via email. You gotta nip that in the bud ASAP because they're gonna waste a ton of your time. So definitely nail down the communication aspect of it. That's huge. If they're a bad communicator, they're going to be bad at dealing with your candidates. Your candidates are going to be in the dark, and it's going to cause you a lot of stress. It's really not worth your time a lot of the time. So if they're not responding to your emails, get them on the phone. Try to figure out what's going on. Obviously, don't put them on the spot. Be like, hey, why are you not responding to my emails? But say things like, hey, I just want to check in with you about these candidates. Just kind of get on them. Try to figure out where the communication breakdown's happening, and if they're HR that you're dealing with, which has been pretty much what I've strictly dealt with. I very rarely have dealt with hiring managers. Try to get the hiring manager in the loop, like get them in like the group email, or just you want to get the hiring manager on there because they're the ones that feel the pain the most. So definitely get them in that email chain. That would be ideal to get them the resumes instead of HR because HR has a lot of other issues they're dealing with. Big deal to get the hiring manager in the loop. Um, and if you're consistently sending them candidates that are qualified and they're not interviewing them, that's another big red flag. You want to deal with that. You might even want to drop the client. It's really not going to be worth the headache and stress. I've had a couple clients like that since I started, and yeah, it went nowhere. So massive waste of my time because you spend money when you search for these candidates. You're going on Indeed, you're using some sourcing tools to get qualified candidate emails or phone numbers, and you're getting a hold of them, and you're just spending this time and money, and it's just a pain. Not good. Um, Also, in terms of getting clients, you want to be sending out a ton of emails every day without fail. This is going to be huge for you. All right, you want to be spending 200 to 400 emails a day. This is going to drum up a lot of clients. This is going to help you scale quickly. That's where I'm at right now. I've billed $50,000 since I started in April, which is pretty big. I mean, there's a lot of other expenses that go into it. I just spent $20,000 on Zoom Info. And I have a bunch of other tools that I use to source candidates that I'm paying for monthly. But the ROI has been huge, so don't even sweat it. But client outreach, huge. You want to have a consistent influx of new clients. That's going to be where your money's at. So yeah, huge. Another thing that I've learned with candidates, candidates it can be kind of hard to gauge if a candidate is serious, right? You could call them, get the resume off Indeed, or maybe you found them through Signal Hire, Hire Tool, Zoom Info, or there's a ton of different software you can use to find candidates. They could tell you they're interested, and they could seem like they're interested, and at the last second just make you look like a fool in front of your client, which sucks. So highly recommend when you get a candidate and they seem interested and you want to set them up with an interview, very first thing, make sure they send you an updated resume. All right, you ask them for an updated resume. If they're not willing to send you an updated resume, that's a huge red flag. They're clearly not interested, or they're not taking it seriously, and they're going to cause problems for your client. So don't even bother with those candidates. If they're unable to send you an updated resume, believe me, I know it sounds really small, but it is huge. Trust me. Get them to send you something. And you want to keep your candidates updated. You don't want them to lose interest. So if your client is, however many steps the interview process is, or however they do their things, just make sure your candidate stays updated. You don't want them to lose interest and end up going to a different client and potentially losing you a lot of money. So keep the candidate updated. What I like to do also is I'll keep folders on my desktop. I'm not sure if this is the most efficient way to do things, but this is the way that I've dealt with them. I'll have a folder filled with all of my candidates for each job, and I'll have a note. That'll show, it'll have their name, and it'll say, this client has been interviewed. This candidate's been interviewed, but the client's passed on them. I'll have like pass or no pass sort of situation, just to kind of keep a note for myself, so I don't end up pulling the same candidate in and reusing them. That's been big. Yeah. And another thing, if you're new to recruiting like I am, dude, you're gonna fail. Just get over it, take it in stride. I've had candidates that have backed out at the very last second who haven't showed up to interviews. I've had a client that dropped me because I wasn't sending them qualified candidates. IT's not my niche. Lesson learned. But yeah, you got to get over it. You got to take these things in stride, because there's tons of other clients out there, tons of other opportunities to make money. So just get over it, move on, move to the next client, move to the next paycheck. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna post some more videos in the future, but this is just something sort of short and sweet, just to sort of give you a rundown of where I'm at. Less than 5 months in, so yeah, it's definitely doable. Just you gotta buckle down and work hard. But if you guys are interested, I am a part of a group of a lot of other recruiters that has been hugely beneficial to me. Anytime I've had questions, you can go in the group, talk to people that are doing the same kinds of things you're doing. Maybe you're having an issue placing a candidate, or even finding candidates. There's people that'll give you awesome advice free of charge just to be helpful. Another thing that's been super helpful, I'm a part of the six-figure mentorship program by Ben Nader. This guy's insane. He's amazing. He's been doing this stuff for years. So if you're interested in taking your game to the next level and getting started quickly, definitely recommend Ben Nader's six-figure mentorship program. I'm going to link these in the description of my video. So yeah, have at it. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to have my contact information below, or comment in the video's comment section below. All right, until next time, appreciate it. Goodbye.